We have 3 bullpen options here in Keep'em or Old Yeller'em to look at. Well, 3 veteran ones. There's actually a 4th. It's kind of a World Series legend. Andrew Chafin. You have, of course, David Robertson and Kirby Yates. At what are we looking at? For Chafin's 34 years old. He has a club option at $6.5 million for the 2025 season. Robertson 39, Yates 37, and then Jose Leclerc, who's somehow already 30 years old, is on this list as well, which surprised me.
All those guys are free, right? With the exception of Chapin?
Yeah, the off
options.
Chapin, and then everybody else is a free agent. You want to bring any of those guys back? I would like to bring back at least Robertson and Yates. I just don't know that we have the payroll to pull something off that like that, Wolchuk.
Yeah, I'm all in on Yates for sure. I think you got to try and bring him back. I'd like David Robertson. I mean, at 40 years old, I don't think for $7 million you're picking that up. Maybe you go ahead and try and work a deal if he wants to come back for a little bit less. But I mean, the big question to me is Leclerc. Like, he's your World Series hero. You made a great run in the postseason, what he was able to do. But I don't know. Like, was that just kind of a flash in the pan for Jose Leclerc?
Let's move on.
You're moving on?
Moving on from that.
I mean, you're talking about like some real psychological
and high
type
there.
of,
That's what I'm saying. I feel like that you could probably get something better there. I mean, you probably got guys that you're thinking about that were starters that you want to move into those spots and stuff like that. It's just too up and down for me on that guy.
I mean, things have to fall into place for you so well to win that World Series with the adventures that Leclerc and Chapman took us on, and the runners they got on. And those are the things that a good GM thinks about. The good GM doesn't think, well, this guy's special. He won a World Series. He's got the makeup of a champion. No, some guys do. Like it appeared that Montgomery probably did.
Yeah.
It's obvious Evaldi does. It's obvious Seager does. But, guys that are falling flat on their face after winning you a championship, I think you have to be more leaning towards let's move on from the role players and hang on to the guys that are proven clutch gene dudes. And it's clear who those guys are on your team.
Yeah, and it's a much more difficult decision in the offseason right after winning the championship, I think. Yeah. Now that you've had a year to kind of sober up from, I mean, Broadus is still blowing a .03 or so at least.
Did we ever sober up?
But I think you're able to be a little bit more logical and rational about some of these things.
Yeah. Nathan Evaldi at 34 years old, that's the litmus test for the entire offseason and the Rangers' plans, right?
They gotta. I think that's a move that you have to make. I mean, I think Yates and Evaldi, those are the two guys for sure I'm trying to bring back. And Evo, we'll see. I mean, he's going to have an option. I wonder about the Houston Astros. I mean, he's a kid from Alvin, Texas. Do the Astros come over and say, we'll go ahead and offer more than what the Rangers are willing to go to? And then he's going to have to make that decision. Am I in this for $5 million more? Is it $25 million with Houston, $20 million with the Rangers, whatever it is? But I think the leadership, I mean, that's every time we did a player show with a pitcher, it was Nathan Evaldi and how he's taking guys under his wing and the calmness and the leadership and the veteran mentality. And every big games, I mean, he's showing up. I think Evaldi is a must-have back.
I mean, you could go ahead. No, you could make a case that you don't need him on paper.
Yes,
right?
You can.
With the amount of guys that you have, with the quality that you have. But we're talking about intangibles and paper greatness.
Big game stuff, dude. And I think if Evaldi's back, that means he's been sold by CY and this team that they're really trying to win. He, above anybody, is a dude, especially at this point in his career. He wants to be somewhere he's going to win. So if he inks the deal back with the Rangers, I think that means, hey, that's a good sign that other things are going to be coming here as the offseason progresses, and then even into the trade deadline for next season as a team that's going to be trying to win. And as Wolchuk mentioned, I mean, nobody has an entire clubhouse under their wing when you lift it up. But when you lift up Evaldi's wing, the entire clubhouse is under it.
That's a great point. Not just the pitchers.
Yeah, but you got DeGrom, you got Bradford.
You can't have enough arms. I think that's been proven over the last 2 years.
I mean, look at the Astros this season.
Slider, Rocker, Malley.
You got
Atlanta.
You got a lot. I mean, I agree. You have to have arms, but you also have to if we're in one of these deals where you're paying a guy, we lose the opportunity to sign somebody else or have somebody else. You've already got pitchers. You've already got starting pitching in DeGrom. I mean, he came back and showed you that he's your number one guy. Where does Evaldi fit? Is he number 2?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
I would say.
everybody loves Bradford. We just had
and Bradford as your 3 is pretty dang impressive
I'm
for him.
thinking of
Honestly,
Rocker being my 3.
Malley.
Maybe,
I feel you on that.
Yeah.
They are
Rocker.
loaded. They are loaded. I just think that
I don't think you can afford him. That's me.
Well, then I would love
I
to
think
see
you have to.
where do those dollars get allocated? Where's the pivot there with the Evaldi money? What are you bringing?
Yeah, don't give me Carl Lawson and a couple of other jobber defensive tackles instead of Derrick Henry.
Don't give me Linval Joseph.
Thank you. Okay, Andrew Heaney is 33 years old. That's where we get below the line clearly to me. As much as I love Heen Dog and the great line that he gave to Corey Seager to drop at the championship parade and his wonderful work on the Rangers Players Show with us from time to time, Andrew Heaney's probably got to go. Okay, you are looking at a mutual option, though, $7 million for the 2025 season. That's not too bad an allocation. But I think every mill is it's pretty important here. Speaking of pitchers on the underside of that line is the 40-year-old Max Scherzer. Very appropriate tie-in here. He's got the sheepdog eyes.
Yeah, he does.
He's got 2 different color eyes.
That's a thank
the
you for
Australian
everything,
Shepherd.
Mad
Yeah.
Max. But you can go be somebody else's headache. And is he going to pitch today?
Oh,
I
you just
don't
called him a
know.
headache?
Yeah, at this stage in his career, I think he is.
Won't even let you play the music that you want in the weight room. Sorry, I used to
just
be
don't
good like
know
5 years ago.
The
You gotta listen to
reliability at
this.
40 years old for Max Scherzer, it's just not
Yeah.
there anymore. He's a Hall of
break it down.
Famer, one of
Yeah.
the best to ever do it. But I mean, I'm nervous. Like, is he making the start every 5th day? I have no idea.
It would have to be incentive laden, like so much per start is what we're going to pay you here. Jose Urena, 33 years old. Wolchuk brought us.
I'll tell you what, man. The record didn't appear, but that guy did more for you this year. When you started
Got some
talking,
talent.
when there was like spot starts, long relief, take up innings, game out of hand, he pitches for like 5 innings. I'd find a way to kind of keep him around and work. I know he's a veteran guy, but man, he showed a lot of toughness taking the ball for you last year or this past year.
Could be a piece in the bullpen.
More toughness than some of these Tolos. I tell you what, emailing our boss about offensive make-believe stuff. But that's neither here nor there.
How many emails were received? I would just love. Is this one bad apple? Is this is this a full tree of apples?
When management walks in and says don't do it, you don't do it. You just don't. You know?
I'm not advocating to do it.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to
Most of
figure
the
out
time.
how many
Yeah,
emails.
you just
most of the time.
management
Usually
says
we look
management
either way.
walks in and says, "Hey, listen, don't do it. You don't do it." You know, or you end
Most
up
of
like
the
me,
time.
you get fired.
I was about to say, how many times did you push back on Parcells?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Situation.
I'm just trying to give everybody, you young guys, a little bit of understanding.
I
Speaking
appreciate
of
it.
young guys, the 33-year-old outfield utility player, World Series and ALCS hero, Travis Jankowski. Come on back, buddy.
Bring him back, El Blondie. We love him. He
El
said he wants to
Blondie.
retire. El Blondie.
El Blondie. Lifetime deal for this guy, Janko, right, Brian?
What are you doing over there?
You want the lifetime deal for
What are
Janko?
you doing over
He's
there?
the best player we have on the Player Show. The best personality.
Hey,
Can we-
there's
I
no
don't
better
even-
pinch hitter in baseball.
I don't
Tied
even want to
for the
go to
best?
surprise
Can we-
if
can
he's
we-
not going to be in that clubhouse.
Can we pay him in our gift cards that we get?
It's not going to be a lot.
Bro, you're paying
Not
him
gonna be a lot.
$1.7 million in gift cards right
Yeah,
now.
That's what I'm
Okay.
saying. No,
Over
kid,
there.
can we get our Pluckers gift cards?
Golly.
Hey, for coming back, we'll give you a couple of Pluckers.
I'll throw in to keep Janko. I'll tell you that much.
Okay, well, yeah. Who's the one guy that you're going to be like, hey, Brandon Hurtado, let's do the same Jordan Montgomery situation where it's like lifetime barbecue.
Oh, that'd be
Baldy.
Evo.
Would that be Evo for you?
Yeah.
Lifetime barbecue.
I guess shots fired at El Blondie.
You heard it here first.
You don't need to.
Yeah, we'll figure out
He
another way
already
to get
wants
El
to be
Blondie.
back.
He's
Lifetime
coming back,
Whataburger.
right? You don't have to worry about that.
He said
right?
he wants to retire as a Ranger.
Yeah, he loves it down
Don't
here.
worry about that then.
Top 10 at 420 is
Guys,
coming
making it
up.
sound like
Well, it's up to Broadus. Then he's going to retire this offseason.
I can't believe you weren't supporting him more.
Oh, I saw
Yeah.
you trying to cheerlead over there. And you're looking around.
What
and
was wrong with cheerleading Janko?
Nobody was
You don't
going,
like- you don't like
nobody was
ALCS
going with
heroes?
you. You were like, whoa, nobody's going with me on this one. You
Don't let
did.
him watch
He
dog
did.
you.
Of course, Wolchuk did.
I did.
Oh,
As
no,
you know, Wolchuk will go with you on anything,
You got
Brian.
me.
Oh,
You got
no.
me.
You were going, Blondie, and you're looking around and nobody was going with you. And you're like, oh, what'd I just do? And then all of a sudden, Wolchuk's like, Blondie.
I'm
He
supporting
this guy
and I
choosing
don't know why I
violence?
caught a stray there. What the hell?
just
I
saying.
think you're just.
I looked over at you, Dawson, and you were like alone on that island.
I knew Wolchuk Chuck would have my back.
Not for he was very slow to
Shut
the,
up over there, Brian.
That's because the
very
thing
slow
about
to
your
the
back is
trigger.
Brian, you're cutting into my segment, all right?
Wow.
Mic off.
Oh yeah, it's a top 10 day.
Golly.
Brian, I got
to go 2 for 1 here.
I know we got sideways earlier when you accused me
we're
of being a
good.
Dak hater, but this one's next level. I didn't have Broadus siding with the Zennial overly offended sensitive people on my bingo card today. I'll tell you that
Me
much.
neither.
All offended. You're not even a dog owner over there, and you're feeling bad.
not.
For
Broadus,
him.
you going down the hall to the boss's office in the break and going to ask for more things that we're not allowed to do and say?
You know what? I'll do anything to help you keep your gig because
Yeah.
I lost mine along the way. I just looking out for you young guys. You got all
Thank
these, Trajan Wealth and those people. You need to sign up for that stuff.
We're about to talk Trajan
Yeah,
Wealth here in
I
just
love
a moment,
Trajan Wealth.
actually.
Yeah,
You got to
exactly.
go apologize to Spittle for me wanting to play that dog sound effect, I'm sure.